So a much requested video, a Avalanche exit plan. I hold a little bit of Avalanche in my learning crypto portfolio. If you don't know this is my education company. We have been around for a while. If you want to learn, if you want to get courses, if you want to get, a full breakdown of everything that happens every single day, check it out. It is very, very cheap and you get 30% off your first payment, right? So we do have some exposure. It is a solid asset. Always has been, right? If you don't know where it is, don't know where you've been, a layer zero, it's relatively quick. It's got a lot of dApps on it. It's doing some pretty good meaty stuff in the market. But at the end of the day, it takes time for things like this to build. It has had a horrific bear market, but recently, ka-ching, right? It's flying, which is good to see. Went down to as low as $8.54. Now we're at $38, $40 range. Cool. But we want to look at where can this go in the future? Could be quite fun. By the way, before I go on, a lot of you guys are not subscribed to my channel. Please do. I am nearly at, 64,000 subscribers? I can't remember. But it'd be nice to get some new milestones in. But let's clear the chart. Let's look at this. And if you know what these videos are all about, I take profits and I advise people to take profits little bit by little bit at little bit increments, just in case it melts and dies. Just saying. No one goes broke taking profits, right? Clip that. Cool. So, monthly time frame. This is what it looks like in the monthly. Now, I've not done a price prediction on this. If you want me to do a price prediction, let me know. But I want to do more of an exit plan today because we are looking at points of where people should be. If you were buying at $8, looking at maybe taking some money out, just a tiny little sliver. It's Christmas soon, you can buy some presents with it, kind of vibe. So what I like to do is, very simply, look at the higher time frames, look at what it's looking at in terms of body closures to see levels, and then I put a fib on it, and then I draw between both of them, and I find a little zone where it's like, oh, that looks all right. Because ultimately, price likes to return to previous levels of resistance or support if you go into the other direction, right? So, obvious level here, where we are right now. If you bought at sub 8, sub 10, sub $12 levels, not a bad place to take some money off the table, boys and girls. That's all I'm going to say. So firstly, we're going to draw a little, actually, we're not going to draw a box, we're going to do a line. Boink, line there. The next level I'm interested in is obviously this level. The next level I'm interested in is obviously going to be this level because it's more obvious. And then I've got another level that I'm also interested in around here, give or take around that point. This one's a bit more iffy, depends on which one you want to go for. You may want to just do this and then delete that one. So it just depends on you, right? These are obviously body closures, a bit different. And you can see where it could be going in the future, obviously. So what I then do, draw a fib, low to high, and look at where the levels are. Now, for the first situation is we're kind of at some nice levels. 618 level is kind of nowhere near, but the 50% mark in 786 isn't too far away. So what we could do now, we can refine this and go, well, as I said before, this, in my opinion, should be profit taking. Let's be perfectly real. We cannot do anything in life without taking profit, right? So TP, 10%, beautiful area, right? Next one, we're looking up here. Big juicy level up there. Again, feel free to change numbers as you see see fit. And again up here, cool. Streamlined, easy, simple for you guys to all understand. That means you've still got 70% in the market if you are looking at this and if it keeps on going. However, what about if it turns and rolls over and it looks really ugly? Well, if it's up here, it happens, you've probably made some money if you've been buying at these lows, obviously. But nothing is taken for granted when you're taking profit. Now, what I will say as well, yes, there is some future targets here at the future, and we will talk about the future. I'm not going to do a price prediction in this video, but I'll show you something in a second, so please stick around, you'll see something. Now, when we look at that, yeah, cool, happy days. For me, anything above all-time high, let it bloody run. Let's see where it can go. Now, I would advise taking 10% off and then letting it run for obvious reasons, because that's kind of a massive run. And then you've got this obvious situation here where you can literally be like, yeah, let it run. Oh, let it Let it run. So that is a situation where you can look at AVAX and go, well, that's very simple. When you go back to the candles, you can see beautiful levels, kind of, and then boink, could go much higher. Obviously, where it went, you can see the all-time high here. So that looks really sweet. Probably the neatest I've done it for a while. So just be mindful. Be mindful of what you could be doing in the market here, because this could really ramp up, right? Now, I talk about this a lot. Join my Discord. I do my exit plans in here. If you want to jump in, it's in Patreon, right? The reason why it's in Patreon is because it stops the scammers from getting in, and it's really is a good community. So if I look and go on to there is exit plans, I have got all the exit plans that I've done so far, all in here as screenshots. I'm going to be adding quite a lot to this because I think it's really good to see where things can go and if they're going to go there, because I think a disciplined plan helps. So this will be put in there if you need it. Let's talk about the BTC pair. So AVAX for me, as I say, doing well. But this is, oh God, I can't spell. This is a really interesting chart, this one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. So the reason why this is interesting is because this has pinpointed the nearest of levels from the past. Boing, right? So when we look at the low to the high or the high to the low, this has dropped 88% in the BTC pair. It's had a big run. So as I say, if you're looking at this level, it's looking pretty good. So again, we're going to just repeat the exact same process as what we did before. We're going to look at some nice little levels. Now for me, look at this, right? This level here, we've got resistance, pretty much support, resistance, support, little miniature baby bounce, resistance, broken out. This to me looks like a pretty good level of taking profit. Now it's very different in the BTC pair, obviously, so be mindful. Another beautiful level here is actually here. If you want to go for this one, feel free. It's up to you, whether you want to or not. These are going to be very different. And obviously this level here around this point is kind of a bit clotted. Realistically, there's a lot of noise here. So you may want to look at maybe this topish level here. Well, I wouldn't go that high. There. As I said before in previous videos, it's very subjective, the BTC pair, because it may not break all-time highs, because if BTC keeps on going in USD values, this may not keep up with it, right? So don't be too much with this one, because this could get a bit scary. Again, that is kind of where it looks in terms of body closures. Looks pretty neat and tidy realistically. Can't really go wrong with that. And again, we go into the fibs and we look at that, and actually not too far away. 382 levels, pretty neat. For me, this has to be a level of, like, a genuine level of, if you've bought down here and you've not, let me rephrase this in fucking simple detail. If you were buying at the lows in the course of like just the end of the summer into autumn into winter, whatever you want to know it as, this has done a massive run. Yeah, that's a huge gain in BTC. If you had one BTC there, you've got a lot more BTC on your hands, right? You've probably made a lot of money. Just saying. Anyways, moving on. So what we need to do again, very simply, can I? Yes. I didn't know that. I can do that. Boom. So copy and pasted into here. That is a clear and obvious level. You should have taken some money off the table in BTC if you want to. Again, moving forward, a little bit more aggressive this one because it is the BTC pair. For obvious reasons, that is also a level. And again, we go forward. Again, up to you in terms of what situation you have. If you want to have more BTC, if you want to have more USD, up to you. I like to keep BTC personally. I'm not going to touch the 618 levels. I'm going to go a bit higher because I think that is a massive run anyway, certainly if you were buying these lows. But look at the downtrend. Ugly. But it's looking pretty good now though. And obviously up to here. Now, I'm not going to go and bore you, but obviously if you get to this point, you're probably absolutely loving life. Probably take a lot more off the table at this point, in my opinion, because that is pretty mental. But yeah, up to you. Anyways, moving on. That's that done. That's a BTC pair. Simple as that. Huge gains on the offering, but it may, as I say, never go to those all-time highs because of that's the way it goes. So you've got to be so careful. But where can Avalanche go? Now, I'm not saying that this is a price prediction video because I want to do an individual one, but if it goes to Ethereum market cap as 274 billion, Avalanche has got the minerals to do a big move. I don't think that high though. If we're going to look at something maybe towards XRP price, 34 billion would put it back at $93. Obviously, the whole market will go up anyways. That's pretty impressive. But for me, when we look at the previous all-time high of roughly 144, that's a 52 billion market cap coin. That's a pretty decent run. However, we've had a big run already. It may not go there, but $250 for me will be towards that $100 billion market cap area, which technically in a second cycle, that's not too, what's the word? Not too far away. It's kind of not impossible. So you've got to be somewhat careful to that. So be mindful that yes, it has had a run. It has done well, but it may go beyond its all-time high. It may not. But let's just say about this, if it goes towards its all-time high level, it's a pretty decent gain, especially if you bought a lot lower. Now, the final closing thoughts here. As good as Avalanche is, buying today, yeah, you may well make a couple of X. But this is where it gets interesting, where things run and the psychology of the market comes in. When you buy is where the profit is, right? If you buy really early, you've got more chance of taking profit. There will be, at some point, we don't know when this going to happen, bull cycle, ETF narrative, all that kind of stuff, people will buy this much, much higher and push it even higher than you think. So as much as these are taking profit levels and you're pulling money out of the market, you want to kind of have a point where the mania comes where you are going to let it run, but also use an exit liquidity of people that are coming in to sell into because they are giving you the money to do it, right? Kind of makes sense. It's how market works. The impatient to the patient to the impatient, all that kind of malarkey. You get the idea. However, one big problem here. AVAX is probably not going to change your life, right? Unless this goes to like $500 and you've put a massive boatload into here, fair enough. But if you're going to put $50 to $100 to $300, $400, $500 into this at $38, expecting it to change your life, it probably isn't. Got to look a bit further down the tree. But as a fantastic hold, as a big cap coin, a safer coin technically, this is probably one that should be on your list to take alongside the likes of DOT, maybe Chainlink. You get the idea. Cardano, those kind of caveat coins. So there we go. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe. Hi, Christmas is coming. Probably want to take a little bit off the table with this one.